Hello, beings of the world. I am Serene Dolphin, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to my channel and to a brand new zone. Uh, Always my favorite, a new series starting out, and we are on the last Horde starting zone that I have yet to cover. And as you can tell, it is the Blood Elf starting zone, the Eversong Woods. I have a special place in my heart for this zone, as I will get into why. And meet Elf Dolphin, the hunter. Say hi.
Quell the loss shines once again.
Sure. Um, it's gonna get a little wordy. It's gonna get a little pretentious up in here. uh, Being a blood elf, we do have a thing for words and style. Probably some of the most stylish starting pieces in the game come from the Blood Elves. As you can see, it's quite... Well, it just looks very magical, doesn't it? So, we'll go ahead and get started with Magistrix Arona. Reclaiming Sunstrider Isle. The sooner you begin your education, Elf Dolphin, the better for us all. There is little room for error, so listen closely. The burning crystals, the green floating objects to the west of the Sunspire here, have long been used to power the Isle's experimentations. The mana worms were their guardians, but the scourge invasion of Quel'Thalas has driven them errant from our lack of magical control over them. There is little choice but to thin their numbers for reclamation. Do this, then return to me. Kill 6 mana worms. They are located close to the burning crystals that are adjacent to the tower and gazebo.
Death to all who oppose us.
So, we now embark... Wait a second. Why do I not have a pet? Don't hunters start with pets? Last hunter I made start with a pet. Why don't I have a pet? Am I not supposed to have a pet? Oh, I get called pet 5. Okay, maybe I don't have a pet yet. Feed pet, mend pet, revive pet. Oh my gosh. Whole bunch of stuff at level 5. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Okay. Alright. I can wait. So anyway, we are embarking on my first ever quest. Yes, this quest right here that we're doing was the first quest I ever done in WoW. I remember back then. It wasn't even on my own account. My boyfriend at the time, and I mean, we're talking, this was at the tail end of the Burning Crusade, so back, if you can believe it, like, 2008 or so, maybe. Gosh, was it really? I can't, I don't know if my numbers are right there. I thought Burning Crusade came out in 2007, but, maybe it did. Maybe that was 2006, maybe I'm thinking of 2007. I don't know. My boyfriend was like, do you want to try playing? Because I've been watching him play, and he was like he's a raider, and he for a long time very dedicated to the game, high-end raider, all that, just very good at the game. And he always wanted me to get into the game, but then I didn't have an account. I didn't even have a desktop computer at the time. I just had a laptop, and it was no way going to play World of Warcraft. So he graciously decided to dedicate an afternoon just for me to try it out and play it. And I'll tell you, that was gracious of him, because, like, World of Warcraft was... there was 2 things in his life, World of Warcraft and college. And when he wasn't doing one, he was doing the other. We'll turn this in real quick, and then and then I'll continue my story.
Our enemies will
Reclaiming
fall.
Sunstrider Isle. You have successfully completed your first task. For that you are to be congratulated. Such success gives me faith that you will turn out better than those young blood elves who failed to heed the lessons of their masters. Continued success will be rewarded, not only with knowledge, but also with tangible rewards as well. Your work here, however, is not finished. There is much more to learn, my young friend.
Be ready.
Alright,
for
well,
anything.
you know, I think I am, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha, and that caused focus. Okay, just learn Arcade Shot. I haven't played Hunter in a hot minute, so I'm trying to relearn it. Unfortunate measures. Your effort has made something clear that, honestly, I wish were not true. The unchecked power of the burning crystals has maligned a much larger swath of the Isle's natural balance than I thought. We must now take on more unfortunate measures to reclaim control. The nearby lynxes have succumbed to the influence of the crystals, and they must be put down. Bring their collars, Elf Dolphin, as I may yet be able to fashion a magical restraint to turn some back from being uncontrolled. Collect 8 lynx collars from slaying Springpaw lynxes and Springpaw cubs. Return to Magistrix Arona on Sunstrider Isle when you are done. For some gloves. Sure.
The reckoning is at hand.
I'll do it for gloves. Lot wordier, but anyway, he said, you know, so, he let me play, and, but I had to play Horde. I don't remember at the time. I think that was the time in which when you were in, one, on the same server, you couldn't be 2 different, alliances, so, like, you had to, if you were a Horde on a server, you had to be Horde, and if you were Alliance, you had to be Alliance. I think that's how it was back then. Honestly, it's been so long, but I have a memory of that. I had to be Horde. I remember that. So, I'm looking at the Horde races, right? And this was back when I didn't know anything about WoW. And my concern wasn't... Well, I just thought they were all ugly. Like this, and this was before even Goblins or Pandaren were a race, so, you know, that wasn't happening. And I was like, wow, why are all these so ugly? And then I saw the Blood Elves, and I was like, finally! I could be something pretty. That's all I cared about. So, I became a Blood Elf, and I had a lot of fun customizing it, even though customization options aren't as crazy as they are now. Not that they're crazy, but they're a lot more varied. There's a lot more stuff you can do nowadays. And I sunk into a game, and I did my first quest, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I played some games before then, but that, I think, was my first intro into, like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to become a gamer. I want to play all sorts of games. And doing my first quest, I was just like, this is all I want to do. Is there more? Like, is this what the game is? And he was like, for you, right now, yes. And I was like, I'll take it.
Victory lies ahead.
Unfortunate measures. It gives me no pleasure to ask you to destroy these beasts. While in times past we have lived in relative harmony with the woodland creatures, these are different times. The first order of business for all Sindorai is survival. Make sure you remember that. The tower and surrounding areas should now be relatively secure, though only for the time being. You have done well in providing us with a buffer of security, but we will need to reassert control over the entire isle if we are to survive here in the long run. This will involve tackling much greater threats than errant mana worms and lynxes. Take this, Elf Dolphin. You will no doubt make good use of it for the tasks to come.
We will have justice.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, wing clip. Okay, that reduces movement speed. Let's put that over here. Report to Lanthan Paralon. You're to report to my assistant, Lanthan Paralon. He will instruct you on what needs to be done next. While we here at the Sunspire will continue to rein in the burning crystals, you will be focused on a more pressing matter concerning Falthrian Academy. Lanthan will explain fully when you speak to him. Simply walk west of here, along the path, and you should see him standing close by. Good luck, Elf Dolphin. Your continued successes shall be rewarded. Speak with Lanthan Paralon on Sunstrider Isle. He is standing close to the path running west away from the Sunspire.
Shorel Oran.
However, if you look on our map, before we do that, we have 3 quests to do here, and they are going to take us all over the Sunstrider Isle, and we're going to go ahead and complete those. They are meant to be completed now. Let's see. You know, I might as well... Oh, I have a cape. Might as well put that on. Get our gloves on. And we'll go ahead and sell some stuff.
What do you
Keep our bags clear. Oh, wait. Those chain gloves, are they better? They are better. Weird looking, but okay, I'll take it. Sometimes you gotta watch out for that. Sometimes what you pick up off the mobs are better than what they give you. Not often, but often enough that it is worth checking. Just a tip. Be mindful of that. Oh, he has 2 quests for us. Okay. The Shrine of Dath Ramar. Day after day I stand here, watching, waiting. I've been accused of dwelling too much on our past while my eyes look to the horizon. But it is my firm belief that each visitor to this island should honor those who have sacrificed all so that they may continue to do so. Dathramar Sunstrider was our first king. He led us here from Kalimdor through the Maelstrom. Seek out his shrine to the west, and do not return to me until you have read the plaque upon it in his honor. Read the plaque on the shrine of Dathramar, then return to Well Watcher Solanian at the Sunspire on Sunstrider Isle. Okay, Solanian's belongings. With all the chaos happening here at the Sunspire, I haven't had a chance to collect my belongings I've left outside at various places on the Isle. I must maintain my vigil over the Sunwell here, so I'll ask you to collect them in my stead. I need my scrying orb, my scroll of scourge magic, and my journal. Use a satchel for some extra space, as my things are rather bulky. Return them to me, and I'll give you a little something. You know, for the effort. You can keep the satchel as well. Collect Well Watcher Solanian's scrying orb, his scroll of scourge magic, and his journal. They are found on Sunstrider Isle by the pond, the fountain, and one of the burning crystals. Return them to the Well Watcher at the Sunspire on Sunstrider Isle when you've collected them all.
Farewell.
So, you may have noticed that, that they're a lot more, not just wordy, but they have a lot more information in the quest text about where to go and how to do things, how to complete the quest. And there is a reason for that, that I will get into after we pick up all the quests.
We will persevere.
A fistful of slivers. It's a shame that we've lost control of many of the creatures here on the island. This was once a tranquil place of study and research. Now it's all we can do to keep from being attacked by our own creations. I'm going to offer you a chance to receive a magical boon in exchange for some collecting work on your part. Bring me a stack of arcane slivers that are found on the mana-using creatures of Sunstrider Isle, and I will cast a spell on you that should aid your adventures on the Isle. Collect 6 arcane slivers from any creature on the Isle that uses mana, and then return to Arcanist Ithanis on Sunstrider Isle. We already have a cloak, but he'll give us a
The
cloak
reckoning
anyway.
is at hand.
Work, 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 work.
Anaria
Thirst
Solar.
unending. If there is only one lesson you deign to remember from your time on Sunstrider Isle, let it be this. Control your thirst for magic. It is a thirst unending, Elf Dolphin. What you absorb must be controlled and released via arcane torrent. Failure is to become one of the wretched, hopelessly addicted and insane. Seek out a mana worm and unleash your arcane torrent upon it. Learn to master your power. When you have sufficiently released an arcane torrent, return to me. Use your arcane torrent racial ability on a mana worm, then return to Arcanist Helion. Alright.
Hold your head.
So that's a little bit of lore. Just like how Death Knights have this addiction where they need to inflict pain or otherwise they feel pain. The Blood Elves have this addiction to magic. He's described it pretty well. Just unimaginable thirst, like to consume magic at all times. And so we have this ability called Arcane Torrent. It's a 2-minute cooldown. And it's there, lore-wise, to dispel the magic that we get from traditionally the Sunwell. That is like the Blood Elves' like source. And so if you don't, you become one of the wretched. You basically you lose your senses and just become a slave to it. And so he's telling us to use Arcane Torrent, so it's really simple. Come over here, use it, Arcane Torrent unleashed, and it's done. Now as far as Arcane Slivers, you can see we got one. There's a couple of mobs on the Isle that are mana using that you can pick from, but we will go ahead. The easiest one is just the mana worms, because there's a whole heck of a lot of them, and they're easy to. There's just easy. They're just like right there, or at least they should be. Maybe someone's cleared them all out over here. Now, unfortunately, that's all we do lore-wise about it. I thought it would be interesting if they made something more out of it about consuming magic and turning into wretched, but I have a feeling that would be a hard thing to do, and some people just want to play the game and they don't care about being lore-friendly and all that. So, you know, you get this introduction to it, and that's basically it. But I like that it's there. Explaining things, that's great. Any quest text that goes into the lore, I appreciate. We will be meeting these wretched in a little bit. They are here on the island, causing, well, I say they. There's actually just the one that I know of, but still. He's causing havoc, and that just will not do. That will not do at all. Ooh, malachite. Nice. So, one thing to note is not only... So, the Blood Elves, so this starting zone and Ghostlands, which we will be doing shortly as well, they all came from Burning Crusade. That's when they started. And for the most part, I think there's been a couple of tweaks, not 100% sure, but for the most part, the quest text and the questing and all that has not been touched since then. And back then, you didn't have, like, for, well, anywhere, you didn't have Quest Helper. You didn't have the quests listed on the side. You didn't have the stuff on the map. You didn't have this little arrow telling you which way to go. Alright. We came across the Shrine of Dathramar. Here's a plaque. Let's read it. You have discovered the location of the shrine. Upon further examination, you sense a stronger pulse of the strange power that has gripped the isle. You feel a bit uncomfortable standing by the shrine, and perhaps a little disturbed. The bronze placard along the side of the shrine reads, "Here stands the Shrine of Dathramar, a fitting tribute to a noble elf. Let all who gaze on this monument remember his sacrifices for our people and his dedication to the cause of our continued survival. All who prosper in Quel'Thalas do so thanks to him." And I would go more into the lore of Dathramar and Blood Elves in general, if I can remember such a thing. I know their previous leader, Kael'thas, had led them down a dark path, and then and their Sunwell was corrupted. And then it was due to a dying Naru who turned their Sunwell into, like, holy power, holy magic, or whatever, and it kind of, not only did the creation of Blood Elf Paladins become a thing, but also they and that's like Lady Liadrin's thing, and I don't remember everything, but that kind of saved the Blood Elves, and Kael'thas, you'll hear more about him if we do Burning Crusade quest. I shouldn't say if, when, because we're going to get to everything. Everything eventually. So yeah, what I was saying earlier was that since they haven't changed it, they had to be more descriptive in the quest text to tell you where to go and what to do things, because you didn't have all this help. And that's how you knew how to do things, is you actually had to read. However, they've added all this help, even if you're in these lands, so it's kind of redundant. But, you know, I guess they didn't want to go back and change all the quest texts, and I don't blame them. You know, that would be a lot of work. And it's still pretty you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just a little bit more reading. Well, we did pretty good. Got all that done. And yes, even though back then the extra 4 slots were nice because you would actually carry quest items in your bag, but that's no longer the case. They kind of go into this special, separate, magical bag that you carry around with you, but you don't actually use bag space for. You know, just wow things. So it's okay. The Shrine of Dathramar. Ah, Elf Dolphin, thank you for sharing your experience at the Shrine of Dathramar. First off, you should be commended for your sense of duty and respect. It will serve you well not only here, but in all of Azeroth as well. As for the odd sensation, it is no doubt a contributing part of the taint that has befallen Sunstrider Isle. We shall keep an eye on it. Thank you for alerting us to it. You're welcome. Solanian's belongings. Have you had a chance to find my belongings? Once we reassert our dominance over Sunstrider Isle, I will need them in my work. For now, though, I must maintain my watch over the Sunwell, or what remains of it. And what they're saying now doesn't apply anymore. Again, we're stuck back in time, so this is back in Burning Crusade time, not necessarily what's going on, you know, in Shadowlands. time, so. But nothing we can do about that. Well done. I knew you'd be perfect for the task. Once it's safe to make use of our outdoor facilities on the Isle, I'll be putting these things to good use. Like I mentioned, please feel free to keep the satchel. Also, you may find this piece of armor to be useful. Consider it ample compensation for a simple task performed dutifully.
We will have
Oh, all
justice.
this bluster and stuff like that. Just give me the belt already. Alright, disengage. Leap backwards. That's a good one. We're going to want to put that on a keybind. Very important. Alright. We got that done. We're going to go get these done. We're on a roll already. This is a great part 1, if I do say so myself.
Baladash.
A fistful of slivers. Many of the creatures here on the Isle were at one point bound into non-aggression and complacency by our magical skills. When the Scourge destroyed the Sunwell, our hold over these creatures shattered. Arcane slivers are the remnants of the control we once had, and as such might be usable in fashioning a new device to aid us in regaining their control. Better still, perhaps the slivers could be used to see what malaise the Isle truly suffers under. Splendid. These will do nicely. I've been doing quite a bit of thinking on the current malaise Sunstrider Isle suffers under. One possible course of action I had pondered was to collect these arcane slivers from the beast on the Isle. In doing so, they could be experimented on. This would prove a potential source of culpability. Anyway, I will tend to the research. Allow me to place this incantation on you. I believe you will make good use of it. Alright, what? He placed Fortitude of the Sindorai. Increases stamina and versatility by 5 for 30 minutes. Okay, I'm not going to say no to that. Let's see if this cloak looks better than the one I currently have. Well, it looks better with my outfit anyway. We'll keep it. Hello, Arcanus Hellion. Helion? Probably Helion. Hellion. Oh my word.
What business have
Thirst unending. You've done well today, Elf Dolphin. Your willingness to learn shows that you may very well rise above the unyielding cravings you must endure as a blood elf. Rest not on your laurels, young one, but instead seek to master what you have learned. Only through diligence will we as a race survive. Take this, it may be of some use to you. Go now and bring glory once more to our people.
we will have justice.
No problem. I will take it, bring glory, all that good stuff.
Everything has a price.
Sell, 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 sell.
We will have justice.
And the next part, now that we finished those quests, we've run around the Isle quite a bit. Kind of gotten a good look at it, but there's one place in particular that needs our help that we haven't explored yet. And I have a feeling Lanthan's going to send us there, but that is going to be next time. Time flies fast, doesn't it? If you liked what you saw, go ahead and leave a like below. If you have questions, remarks, criticism, or praise, please use the comment section. And if you really like what you saw and want to know when part 2 is coming out, hit subscribe and you will get that information. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this with me. Take care, and I will see you next time.